Hello everyone and welcome back. If you are watching this video, it's Sunday around 2 o'clock. I've been in the office most of the morning, and one of the things that I think that we really pride ourselves on is making ourselves available to families. It's not unusual for us to do a consult on a Sunday. I just did one with a family, which is what prompted this video. And so let's sort of get into this. You know, one of the things that that families tell us when we sit down and do a consult with them is, they're sort of torn. They feel guilty about bringing their adult child into court. They feel their child might hate them. And today I did a consult, and this was just one of the worst cases I think I've ever heard. I spoke to a set of parents today. They have an adult son who has mid-30s, long history of substance use, mental illness, in and out of treatment centers. Nothing seems to work, on more medications than I frankly I could even take note of when I was taking notes of what's been going on here. And it is literally, this entire scenario is destroying the family. And this is why they call it a family disease, because the parents are on the cusp of getting divorced. Nobody in the house can sleep. They're just beside themselves. I mean, their son sleeps most of the day. He's up at midnight, and his day begins. And it's craziness. In fact, the only time there's real peace in the family is when he's asleep, which is just a sad thing to say. And so, I mean, this is a classic guardianship. I mean, all day long, this is the poster child for a guardianship case. And the mom said to me something really poignant. She said to me when she wasn't crying, and I wasn't trying to make her cry, but these are emotional calls with families. And she said to me, she said, "Am I being a bad mother? Am I a horrible mother?" And I said, "No." I said, "To the contrary, doing what needs to be done to save your child is the ultimate act of love." And I said, I knew before you even asked the question that you loved your child." And she said, "Well, how did you know?" I said, "Because you and I have been talking now for close to 2 hours. It's a Sunday morning, and while everybody else is doing whatever they need to do, I don't know, watching the end of the NFL draft or a basketball game or whatever it happens to be, you're here with your husband talking to me about how we can save your family and how we can save your child. That's how I know that you love them. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation." And I said, "No, you're doing what needs to be done to save your child. It's the ultimate act of love." And I said, the other options are, one, don't do anything, and where that's going, because this individual is slowly dying. And by the way, so is the rest of the family, in sort of a figuratively, way of saying things, right? I mean, it's destroying the family unit is what it's doing, which is what normally happens. And I said, the other option is do nothing, right? He'll probably die. The other option is let the state step in. Now, the state's already stepped in once through the Baker Act process, and they will again. And as I've said in other videos, at some point, if you don't do what needs to be done to save your loved one, the state will do it for you, right? It's just a matter of time. If your loved one is still around, right, the state will step in and they will take care of this for you. And I promise you, you will not like the results, because the state of Florida, unfortunately, is absolutely horrendous at taking care of people when it comes to mental health, behavioral health issues. They are terrible. The system here is draconian and it is broken. And I've been very vocal about that. And frankly, if the governor wants to call me and talk to me about it, I'll be more than happy to share my feelings and thoughts about it. You do not want the state taking care of this for you. You don't. So, and I say this because I come from a place of love, because I don't do any other kind of work. This is what my law firm does. Nothing else. Not car accidents, not divorces, not criminal work, none of that stuff. And I'm not poo-pooing lawyers who do it, but I do one thing right here in my office. I've been doing it for the last 10 years. And I started doing it outside of the local library here in Fairbanks 16 when I was flat broke and had no money. But I had a mission, and I had a bunch of people that I wanted to help. And we've been doing it ever since. We're here to save your family. okay, and to give you the tools necessary so that you can save your family. And it all starts with deciding, making the commitment of time, energy, and money, and doing what needs to be done to save your loved one. That's it. That's what we do. And so I understand that is a big ask of us, because by the time you come to us, you probably spent a bunch of money, you're probably really exhausted, and you're probably out of energy. I get it, right? And this has been going on for a long, long time, and now I'm asking you to give me another commitment of time, energy, and money, and I get it, okay? But this is the ultimate act of love. Saving your loved one, because they cannot make the decision to save their loved one because their brain has been kidnapped, and it was kidnapped a long time ago. When whatever caused this, whatever trauma there was, when that event or series of events took place, their brain got kidnapped, okay, and they went into survival mode. And for every day that this is going on, they're doing everything they can just to survive, from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, which is why when left untreated, it just continues until it destroys the host. So don't feel guilty, okay? Know that you are coming from a place of love. My team comes from a place of love. That's it. So I appreciate you tuning in, especially on a Sunday. You may be seeing this on a Monday, but right now it's Sunday at 2 o'clock and I'm here in my office. So thank you for tuning in. I'd love a thumbs up. And if you could, I would appreciate a subscription to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.